Hi everyone, and welcome to Neurodigest by Andy Speaks for Special Needs Persons Africa. And in this episode, we shall be focusing on ADHD. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. That's the name in full. And some of the signs and symptoms you see with ADHD is lack of attention for a child, very little attention span, not being able to focus on one task, not being able to finish one task, getting very easily distracted in school, around, even having conversations. Like, it's very hard for them to either just sit still. And there is two kinds. There's the one with hyperactivity, and there is the one that is just attention is not there, but they're not hyper. So for me and baby B, someone told me I've been off. And I've been off because I've been navigating. I've been trying to forge through this new phase of my child that wasn't there before. And that is what a journey for neurodevelopmental disabilities is like. It can throw you curveballs, and you just have to go with it. So it's been a very tough week, because when you get the diagnosis on top of autism, you have ADHD, it's like before I knew it was ADHD because of what I read, until you get it written down and confirmed, and what you are okay with no longer becomes okay, because you have to adjust, and because you know it's for the sake of your child. And I got to this point because it was just becoming a bit too much. It was becoming a security risk for my own child, because there is the borderline of all the autism traits and the hyperactivity traits, and a phase in life where we are in the teenage space, and they just want to explore everything, and it's just gotten to the point of self-discovery, and there are things he wants to do for him, like me. I want to do things myself. We have been trying to, no, don't do that, let me help you here, let me help you. But then they're in the world, they experience the world, and they see other children doing it. So it is, I will do it myself. No, I'm not a baby. Like, we've gotten a voice, which is, yeah, we are happy. But then it comes with, oh my God, everything is being destroyed. The willingness comes from a good place, and the patience to let them destroy until they get it right is thin. As a caregiver, days when you wish you were just a housewife to just sit and just do taking care of your children. And why am I saying this has just thrown a curveball, and yet it looks like I've got it all together? I've been out there talking, championing for everyone else. We all fight our own battles in silence, out in the public. And sometimes you can't just speak until when you're ready to speak. And it's been trials. People say there is medication for ADHD. That was the first thing, which sounded easy, quick fix, because we had already done the dieting thing because of knowing that you're on the spectrum. But then now, this being a coexisting condition changes the game. And it was like, okay, we'll give it a shot. And the sad reality sometimes, when our professionals don't tell you what to expect, it can hit you real bad. Some of the side effects, we were already struggling with ADHD. You have issues with sleep, very bad issues with sleep. They find it so hard. So routine is important, screen time management is important. So, and this one is particularly challenging because that's what he's good at. That's the thing that keeps him calm. As much as you've been limiting, now you have to also do it even worse. And if I compare, like I did 6 months without screen, And first of all, of course, like any child, they would rebel, and there's just no TV, no TV. Because first of all, it is baby A who broke the TV. In those moments of meltdowns, frustrations, he just hit the TV. Like, I just got that phone call, and I watched that TV disappear from one end to a whole entire 65 gone. And you tell yourself it's just things, you can replace them. But at the end of the day, it's not just things. Because it happened again at a hotel, and you have to pay it, so it debudgets you. And let me not digress. That just reminds me. So back to ADHD. So medicines have very, very severe side effects. So make sure you always have a conversation with your doctor if you choose to go the medicine way. Because for us, we lack sleep, we lack appetite. This boy looked like a stick overnight. From this very hyper child everyone knew, we got a very withdrawn person who did not have conversations. He would just answer what you ask. Hi, hi. You okay? You're good? Good. And that's it. And this is someone who was like, hi, what's your name? My name is so-and-so. What you doing? Where are you going? Hi, my friend. Even to strangers. So now you just have a zombie in the house. You're asking yourself as a parent, did I do something wrong? Because now they're not eating, like could not eat. In school, we even changed. We thought it was he didn't like the school food pass because I didn't know what was going on. Went to school, scrapped, changed to carrying food from home. Still didn't work. Put him on multivitamins. Trust me, I tried all multivitamins. Nothing. Until at least I got one. And then that's when I was like, okay, let me just have several doctors I can talk to. Let me just find out what this is about. Because you see, when you start supplementing the side effects with more medication, you end up with more bills, you end up with more issues and not resolving the problem. And I thank God I had like consultations with my friends, and I opted to pick some of the advice, and I got my child back, thank God. But then now, when teenage hormones have come, now it has become a whole other level, because the hyperness, the competitive nature of normal children is now there fully, and they want to be with others so badly, but you feel the pain of when they're out there being, you can't do this, don't play, no, you're doing it wrong, no, then stay aside. And your child just wants to be part of other children, but they don't know how to coordinate themselves to that level of just being okay. And I remember in my period of trying to figure out what next, because you still have everything else that has to go on. And a friend posted I saw a repost of a poem. This poem was by a lady, and a lady who has ADHD. I read that poem, and I will not lie to you, I cried. I didn't cry because I am weak. I cried because I felt so sad on behalf of my son. I felt so guilty on behalf of my, well, as in, the guilt was just a bit much, because for the first time, I was able to, how would I call it? I was able to see my son from within himself, just because someone who's been there, done that, opted to share their story, opted to tell us how it is like in their head. Because remember, someone who's partially verbal cannot fully tell you what exactly it is they're having. Because I've always wondered, like, why is it like, I tell you do this, you don't complete it, you do it 3/4 way, you digress, I send you for this, you bring me that, and it just, never used to make sense. And you know, you're trying to be understanding at the same time, you're trying to teach at the same time, trying to be 4-in-1, parent, tutor, and support in all the therapies that we always have to do as parents. And it drains you, and sometimes you lose a bit of yourself. And we get tired, because considering you still have your regular days to live, right? You have to go to work. You have to ensure your other children are taken care of. You have to be a friend, be a sister, be a mother. And for some of us who opted to be advocates, you still have to face the rest of the world with a smile and support those who look up to you, who look out for the support, who look out for encouragement and look up to you. And many a times when people say, oh my God, you're so strong, you're just doing it because you have to do it. There is no alternative. God gives you, yes, the grace we have. But at the end of the time, and when you come back home, just like any other parent, you just wish for some interlude before you walk into this other space. Because this other space is a whole new JD altogether. And the requires and denotes a whole new side of you, and you need to be fully present. But how can you be fully present when you're empty? Those are the challenges. And it's not empty from within or empty from whatnot. Just even being physically tired can reduce your stability, reduce your mental health capabilities to a level where it can be dangerous for yourself also. So when we're raising our kids and when we're doing the things that we have to do, let's not forget ourselves, parents. Take that time, take those few minutes, few moments to try and see how best you can keep yourself. I want to find that poem because I believe we were talking about ADHD. It is something I find very important because it opens up, you know, on Andy Speaks we have the video for what autism is, right? And ADHD is something not many people have been talking about, and this is something that's still just coming up, you know. So, and not coming up that it's not been there, it's been there, just people haven't been talking about it. People have always confused it with autism, but it is a whole separate experience altogether, its own challenges altogether also. So this was posted by a lady, Lorna. I'll always forever say thank you for this one that I can never take away from I'm taking the actions I'm taking now because I was able to see my son for what he was going through and who he is. So it reads, ADHD. Take my hand and come with me. I want to teach you about ADHD. I need you to know, I want to explain. I have a very different brain. Sights, sounds, and thoughts collide. What to do first, I can't decide. Please understand, I'm not to blame. I just can't process things the same. Take my hand and walk with me. Let me show you about ADHD. I try to behave, I want to be good. But I sometimes forget to do as I should. Walk with me and wear my shoes. You'll see it's not the way I'd choose. I do know what I'm supposed to do, but my brain is slow in getting the message through. Take my hand and walk with me. I want to tell you about ADHD. I rarely think before I talk. I often run when I should walk. My thoughts are outside having fun. I never just know where to start. I think with my feelings and see with my heart. Take my hand and stand by me. I need you to know about ADHD. It's hard to explain, but I want you to know. I can't help letting my feelings show. Sometimes I'm angry, jealous, or sad. I feel overwhelmed, frustrated, and mad. I can't concentrate and I lose all my stuff. I try really hard, but it's never enough. Take my hand and learn with me. We need to know more about ADHD. I worry a lot about getting things wrong. Everything I do takes twice as long. Every day is exhausting for me, looking through the fog of ADHD. I'm often so misunderstood. I would change in a heartbeat if I could. Take my hand and listen to me. I want to share a secret about ADHD. I want you to know there is more to me. I am not defined by it, you see. I'm sensitive, kind, and lots of fun. I'm blamed for things I haven't done. I'm the loyal friend you'll ever know. I just need the chance to let it show. Take my hand and look at me. Just forget about the ADHD. I have real feelings just like you. The love in my heart is just as true. I may never have a brain that can never rest. Pardon. I may have a brain that can never rest. But please understand, I'm trying my best. I want you to know, I need you to see. And that broke me to pieces. Because every time when I get frustrated, this is exactly what my son is going through, double. I know how loving he is. I know how he wants your approval. I know how he wants to do things for you and for everyone. And he wants to be able to just do things by himself, but he just doesn't get it right. I know if I sit aside it and I'm like, I'd be broken. My self-esteem would be like, oh, poof, gone, you know? If that's what I'm living with, and just always not enough, always not at par, always just not getting it. Not that you can't get it, it's just your brain is just processing. And why most of the time ADHD and autism get confused, or when the diagnosis is being done, you can get them mixed up, it's because of such things. It's all in the operating system, the brain, how you perceive things, how you process things, how they process things is totally different. And trying to communicate the same, well, you heard it just how she said. It is not easy, and they would just like you to see them, to hear them, to understand them, and to see and know that they're just them trying to also live through this neurodevelopmental disorder. And for us as parents, as caregivers, as the community, the best we can do is be supportive, be understanding. Once you understand and you can support, then that means they'll have an easier time, an easier walk, and they'll be able to give you the best of who they are. Because it's not always failure and doom and gloom, but with the right nurturing, with the right space, the right accommodations, then they will give you the best version of themselves. And that's why I've disappeared. I'm trying to find that best version of my son. I'm trying to give him as much therapy as he needs, as much speech support as he needs, and as much behavior support as he can get, because I know deep down inside he can do it. And I want to believe in him that he can do it. Not that I'm going to relegate also the other child, but I think he just needs more of me now. And so when we disappear and you don't see us, just know at the end of the day, even as the loudest advocates and as the loudest people in the face of it all, we are part of you. We still go through the same, and we are still fighting our own battles, and we still have our own to protect and to give the best version of us. So that is what ADHD has been and is, and we're learning. Each day we learn. Each day we try and do better than we did yesterday, and that's where we're at, and we're going to be moving forward. Sylvia is my name, Dr. Sylvia Muchabo Akinsiku, and Neurodigest is our continued show and podcast, and we will be having education sessions, discussions, honest heart-to-heart challenges we go through, And if you feel you'd like to take a part in this and be my guest and share your story, you're truly welcome. You can just DM us on our socials. That's Andy Speaks for Special Needs Persons on Facebook, Andy Speaks 4 on Twitter, Andy Speaks on Instagram, and also on our WhatsApp groups. If you have access, you can also have a conversation and reach out, and we will be able to be here for you. The show is brought to you courtesy of Andy Speaks, and that has been the Neuro Digest. Thank you very much.